So today we were supposed to be talking about smartphone filmmaking. Were we continuing with that?
We can. I also have another topic. I was trying to figure out what to talk about because actually I did a series on. I just called it Rainy Days. You gonna put it in the middle? Make it easier.
Probably shouldn't eat during the podcast. I'm just gonna grab one of these.
It is free food. I mean, I'm gonna turn on free food. That's you.
I'm trying to get one chip. It's just kind of annoying if you ever listen to a podcast where somebody's chewing gum or like smacking in your ears. What the fuck?
I can still hear it. Yeah, I mean, I haven't done that much filming since it actually stopped raining, which is kind of funny. I started a series called Rainy Days. It's actually, I think it's on YouTube. So the videos I posted, but essentially it's my job is I take pictures of vehicles, and sometimes it rains. When it rains, I can't take any pictures, so I just create different videos, different scenes of the rain coming down, and try to create aesthetically pleasing composition.
It's on YouTube, you say?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
You want to try to pull it up real quick?
Sure. Just click.
You can use the.
Oh yeah. I wonder if it's there. Let's see. I might have to look at mine. I don't think it's gonna pull up for the first. Yeah, I didn't think it's gonna pull up like that. Can you search for people?
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that?
Oh no, that's not a filter.
How do you search for people?
Do you mean channels?
Yeah, so like I'd look for my channel. Ooh, wait, where's the mouse?
There's a type right there. Channel.
Okay.
Oh, look at those cute little pictures of rainy days.
Kamari. Not many people have Kamari. Let's see if I pull up. Oh, why did it do that?
Kamari, the Midnight Crew.
That's not me.
No? Why are you so hard to find, Kamari?
Thought I wasn't. Hold on a second. What is this?
Well, meanwhile, I know there's not too many Termaine Jenkinses around the world.
Really?
Really. If you Google me, there's just me.
Wow. Very unique.
There's variations of close names, but not the same. Like, there's Germaine, and there's Termaine, where the E and R are reversed, so it's like Tremaine. But there's no. I'm like the only Termaine.
Oh, here we go.
Oh shit!
Wait, no, it's.
Is that your baby picture?
No, that's not. No, that's me. Oh, here we go. Here I am.
Oh, there we go. I like that logo. That's nice.
Yeah. All right. Part 1. Wait, where's the other ones? Wait, there should be more. Part 2. Did I not post them here? Where the heck are the other ones? Anyways, this is. Which one do you want to see? You want to see this one?
Right. Anyone you want?
All right. Where is it? I don't know where the other videos are. Hold on a second.
They're pretty short.
Upload. Huh. I know I have more videos. I'll have to
try the one where it looks like you put some titles on there for Rain Part 1.
All right.
Play that one. Go full screen on that. I need to find a way to loop the audio back through the thing so we can kind of hear it in our. I just thought of a way to do that, now that I think about it. Okay, slow-mo. Slow-mo.
Slow-mo.
Slow mizzo. Atmospheric music. Oops, my bad.
You good?
My emotions.
I hate
My
you.
emotions.
I hate you so much.
Thank you for watching. My emotions.
Yeah, that's pretty short.
That's cool. It's pretty cool. Cool.
There were some other ones. I don't know where the other ones went. Or actually didn't do it all slow-mo. Some of them were actually in real time.
Did you watch the of the nomination of the Oscar Academy Awards?
No, I didn't. Why?
Okay, I don't know if they actually happened yet.
Why? What do you ask?
I was just wondering if they happened, and if so, like, who won? Because I wasn't paying attention at all to them.
No, I haven't looked at it. Maybe it might be out there. I don't know. It might have already happened. You can look it up online. You have the internet right there.
Let me
But yeah, so stuff like that. I'm creating short stuff, so that way it's easy to edit and post.
Mm-hmm.
But I realize there's a lot of things that are cheaper with a phone, like the stabilizer, using a tripod.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the lens quality is not going to ever be there, but a lot of stuff. I mean, it's a lot easier to do it sometimes that way than to use a phone. I remember we were doing a 2-part series on that. I remember we want to talk more about it in a second part, but I forgot what we're actually going to focus on the last one. When we were going to I'll talk about it again. I'm not sure. It was a while ago.
Yeah, we need to pick that up, but we need to be better prepared for it.
Yeah, I agree. So that's why. Do you have a topic that you'd like to talk about?
Nah, yeah. Well, I mean, there's always stuff to talk about. Give me 1 second to check this thing here, because I was trying to remind myself about something earlier today. Oh, these are the questions that we were asking Anthony. So that podcast, by the way, should be already have been posted. If it's not, just look for Tampa Film Network, number 9, Anthony Caban. I think that we had an issue with the video, so it might just be the audio, but it should be up by now if you're watching this one, by the way. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So what I was curious about was, have you been working with anyone recently? Anyone local or otherwise?
Not really. The person I was supposed to do a video with, he's doing it with one of the people that are in the group, the one that was trying to start their company. Mm-hmm. I didn't know they were working on that, so because I reached out to him to see what's going on. Because I was going to ask him for help for the video I did for my friend, the intro. Mm-hmm. But it turns out he was already about to work on something I didn't know. Mm-hmm. But it's just it happens. Stuff like that happens time to time. But what was I going to say? I haven't really. No, I was mostly focused on myself. Now I'm trying to create more stuff. To be honest with you, mm-hmm. I still have to edit the Gasparilla videos that I did take last weekend or the weekend before that, I think.
It's been weird trying to figure out the right routine to be the most productive possible, because I just recently started getting a lot of editing work done.
Oh,
and
good.
Yeah, and the weird thing is I'm spending less time on it, but I think what happened was I reworked the workflow, mm-hmm. so that I focus on the things that need to be done first so that somebody else can pick it up, mm-hmm. versus the things that I usually when I edit, what I like to do is I like to start with the stuff that I like the most, which is usually the most visually pleasing shots.
Okay.
And then I'll find all the best shots that I like, that look the best, and then work around that. Mm-hmm. The other way that I've been doing things is just going off of the shot list. So, like, we know that we got to have an establishing shot for the beginning of a scene, and then we go in for the coverage shots right after that, and we close out to a transition. Just kind of going through the checklist of the type of shots that we need. Even if I'm not done with a sequence, it's easy for me to say to, like, Ruth, who was doing the coloring, all right, go ahead and that's the establishing shot we're going to use. Go ahead and color that. Or these over the shoulders of actor B, go ahead and start to work on those. Versus if I had done it the other way, nobody really knows what I'm doing until I'm done, because I'm going for what I think looks the best, and maybe it is looking the best, but nobody can join in on that. So, and that's just doing things like with a group approach in mind versus just doing your own thing and then having somebody come in after you. So I don't know, I work with a group, so that would be a little bit different for you, but
I think it can help.
Probably just hours would help you the most.
Working in group actually helps out a lot when doing a particular project.
Well, any project to me.
And because I remember before we were having trouble with getting group work done, and I'm glad it sounds like you're getting everyone on board to get things done as fast as possible.
Yeah, and I guess I realized not everything needs to be a huge perfection progress point. You know what I mean?
Like, say it again.
Not everything has to be a perfection-driven progress point.
Can you say it one more time?
Not everything has to be a perfection-driven progress point.
I just want to make sure you said that. I thought I was hearing things. But
okay, whatever. Screw you. But yeah, just being able to, even though you haven't done your best work, say to somebody, go ahead and start to work on that, and not feel like you need to have it be as sharp as possible, as well-timed as possible. You can just trust the other person knows and acknowledges that you can do better work. It's just for the purpose of getting this done, we're gonna go with what we have right now, and then we're gonna focus on what else needs to come next. So a lot of people have that issue, man. I've worked with plenty of people who their work has to be perfect before you can even begin working on it, and it's just such a drag. It drags. So
that's what I was trying to tell you when I went. I won't say it, but when I went to do the video with that particular individual I told you about.
Okay, from the last time.
Yeah, remember a while back?
Yeah.
That's what I didn't like. We took several shots, and I'm like, this isn't. I started. I think I got there like around 6:30ish. By the time I got home, it was like 12, and I was like, all right, I'd rather do that for myself or do it where I'm learning. Like I did with the interview, I learned so much that day about lighting and backgrounds, and especially the sound. I used a Zoom recorder with a lav mic to record the sound, and it sounds so much better than having the Rode mic on there. The audio was clear, and also I realized using a prime lens, for instance, was one of the best choice because of the quality that I was getting from it. And I think I learned a lot more from doing than watching, which seems common sense.
Yeah, well, I'd say that's a little bit common sense.
But when I first was taking pictures for the Film Punks, the movie, the Good Friends.
Yeah,
I didn't want to get involved because I was scared.
Oh no, but our approach with Film Punks is learn by doing.
Yeah, no, I get that.
It's jump in and just start doing it, and just learn more as you go. So that's more fun too. To me, it's way better. You're gonna learn better. You're gonna have fun while you're doing it. Versus the other way, man. I don't like doing it the other way unless you're getting paid. It's just such a pain and a drag. You're not really creatively invested in the project. You're just helping somebody else do their thing. That's why I prefer the Film Punks method, and a lot of what Tampa Film Network is doing is based on Film Punks. It's just tweaked a little bit. It's tweaked with a larger group in mind, versus Film Punks is more of the smaller, more specialized group.
Got it.
But so at this point, are you finding any parts of filmmaking that you enjoy more than any other?
I enjoy lighting.
You enjoy lighting? Yeah. So this is something that you actually like.
Yeah, I like it. I know you
found one. We found somebody.
Oh, you found somebody. Someone. Not that many people like doing that. The lighting part.
Fuck no, man. It's boring. It's
boring. You create a visually appealing image.
For me, it's boring.
All right.
But I can see how people can enjoy it the same way that I didn't want to get into audio work, and I find myself enjoying it at certain times. I can enjoy audio work. If I work at enjoying audio work, I can enjoy it. Lighting is a little bit different. Lighting is an art form in itself, and I can see how some people would enjoy doing it. I just hate how much time it takes, how precise you have to be, how lighting can change, because of so many different reasons, and how dependent your shots are on artificial lighting. If you decided to go that route, it costs so much time. So I hate it, and I avoid it at any opportunity possible.
Maybe there's a way you can turn that Philpunk's methodology over to lighting. Maybe you can even adjust it to that. You can make lighting quicker, faster, easier. Maybe there's a way you can do it.
I'm sure it could be quicker, but specifically with Philpunks, one of the rules is actually against using any artificial lighting. It's all natural.
Why?
Just because for speed. For the same reason that we don't do set design with Philpunks either. You have to work with whatever you can find that's already set up. Same thing. Natural set, natural lighting. It's going to be faster. It relies more on your ability to adapt to environments rather than control environments. So it's naturally faster, and it's multicam. So it's built for speed. Now, conventional filmmaking,
guerrilla filmmaking, essentially.
It's a type of guerrilla filmmaking.
Yeah,
it's a very speedy type of guerrilla filmmaking. Some guerrilla filmmaking looks a lot like just regular conventional filmmaking. So it's if you were to do the conventional filmmaking, is more about controlling the environment. That's why they shut down streets. That's why they spend so many hours on lighting and all that stuff. And it's very precise, and it can look very, very beautiful and very well done. That's the strength of that. It's just a different approach, really. It's just about asking yourself at the beginning of the day, like, what do you find the most important? Do you find getting this done fast as possible? Do you find getting the perfect lighting more important than anything else? Do you want it to be more fun than anything else? And that will determine like the approach to filmmaking that you take. But I appreciate any type of filmmaking that allows me to be creatively invested in the project, so that I have my own say. And in the part of the work that I'm doing, especially if I'm not being paid, that's kind of like a requirement up front. And also it not taking like 12 and 16 hours to shoot. So anything that I can be creative in and not spend all of my day. You know what I mean? One of the things I appreciate about Philpunks is just the commitment to do 4 hours of less per shoot. That is huge, because we've been able to do so much. And it's like you finish your shoot and you still got the rest of your day. You can still do other stuff. So, and it's more fun. But
yeah, it sounds like Philpunks is sounds like the whole method is more of like a smaller version of what they call in the corporate world project management. I mean, essentially Philpunks is filmmaking is project management. I think in essence, people do certain tasks, and you have someone who most likely tries to keep everyone on time with those tasks, and it can be fun. If everything is done in a timely manner and as fast as possible.
I don't know. I don't usually put the two words corporate and fun together.
What I'm trying to say is, yes, to each his own. But in the case of when it comes, I'm trying to relate to people who I'm talking about, like with project management and kind of bring everything together. Essentially, like when I worked with the Philpunks, good friends, right? Mm-hmm. You had the app where it showed where everyone needed to go, real time. Mm-hmm. 360. I think you had the 360 app too. Mm-hmm. We met, made sure we had everything worked out before. Then we shot. We just shot. We adjusted. And we shot. We got content. Even that day when one of the actors didn't show up, we made the most out of it. Got a shot. Saved some time for the next day when we finally finished the rest of the Film Punks, which was sufficient. So I think it's a good method.
Yeah, that there means that like there's always a plan. Like with Film Punks, like even when shit goes wrong, there's a plan B, C, or whatever. And it's like everyone, even if you don't know what plan D is, you know if there is one, right? You know somebody knows what it is. So that's another thing is it's very, that what I appreciate about that is it's very extremely organized. And you know that your time is being optimized. Give me one thing. Can we turn this air off? It's like...
No, it's fine. You can go turn off.
All right. It's just kind of in the way now. 1 second. Reached the part of the day when it's like gonna be like constantly turning itself back on and off. So, all right. But talk to me about lighting. What do you find fun about it, and when did you realize that lighting is something that you really enjoy?
Because it's a struggle, believe it or not.
Because you do enjoy it. You don't just like it. You're saying you find it pleasurable.
Yes.
You like it.
Like working out. Working out is painful.
Okay.
You sweat. You're uncomfortable. You're suffering. You're literally lifting weight, and your muscles are aching.
Okay.
And you're tearing your muscles over and over again. Lighting is something similar. You turn on the light, if it looks flat, the light's too harsh, you got to change the angles, change the person. Oh, wait, the person's too close to this, to the wall. It's making a shadow. Doesn't look right. Got to adjust it again, fix it. But when it all comes together, it is beautiful. It is so majestic, like a unicorn galloping across the field and farting rainbows.
Okay.
That's what it makes me feel like.
All right. That's magical. That's very mystical.
Well, what you can do with it, it's so, because when you look around, see, everything is lighting. Everything's a reflection of some sort. Light is bouncing off. You can look around. You can see it everywhere. And even when I look at commercials now and movies, I love just to see what they're actually doing for it. Majority of the commercials use like very bright lighting. Everything's lit up. But movies, my God, movies. And you're just wondering, how are they even doing that? Because now you understand working with the camera, working in, like, especially indoors, how difficult it is to get good lighting indoors and see this so aesthetically pleasing. It's amazing.
Okay.
So
it's a beauty thing. I get you. That's just kind of the same. It's kind of the same attraction that I have to cinematography, which out of all the disciplines, I think I enjoy cinematography the most because I can see my work happening right then and there in front of me. Like, I don't have to wait for it to unfold or to be done effectively, like with screenwriting. I don't have to wait for the finished product really with editing, you're kind of waiting. You're doing it then too. But anyways, it's all about like what's happening with your eye, what's happening right in front of you. So I can see, that's why I say I can understand how someone can like lighting. It's just a process of lighting that is a pain in the ass to me. The process of cinematography can be a pain when it comes to, number one, finding a good location, making sure you have a camera that's going to work the way you need it to, making sure all your equipment is a benefit, not a hindrance, and dealing with environmental changes, and I don't know what else, but most of that I enjoy because it's like, for one, I know how to do it. It's all about just planning. Cinematography is all about planning, and you apply the same principles no matter what your conditions. You're still going to have your subject in a certain place. You're still they'll be looking for a certain type of lighting. It's just enjoyable, I guess. But yeah, lighting, that's cool. So do you have have you like purchased lighting equipment or anything like that? Or is that something that you're trying to do?
I have a book called Light and Science, and I have some LED lights, but I want to buy. I think I'm going to buy some more powerful ones, because when I was doing the intro video, I realized I had to use almost all my lights just to get the right lighting. I realized it wasn't powerful enough. I also realized that I needed other things like an extension cord with the 8 outlets in it. I also learned, like for instance, when I was doing the intro, I mostly had 4 lights on a light stand and an umbrella, kind of softening it on his face. The lights are warm, I think 32 Kelvin, right? Is that correct? Or Celsius?
Excuse me. It's gonna be Kelvin.
Kelvin, yeah. It was warm, facing at a high angle down towards the. I'm looking at you, left side of his face, and I had to use all the lights though. I was actually thankful that I brought the power cords to plug in the lights, and I didn't use the batteries, because all in all, because the original background wasn't good. There was a TV behind him, and the lights were reflecting off of it, and also the room lighting was causing I don't know I forgot the name of it, when it creates like it's kind of like a hazy look on the camera, because it
glare.
Yeah, a little bit
on the lens glare.
Yeah, a little bit of a glare. So we switched the position to a wall that was more. I guess it was more uniform. There's less distractions in the background, so you could just focus on him. The only thing I needed to do was I had an extra light, which I used to light up the background, so it wasn't completely dark behind him.
Okay.
And once all that was set up, he's had to get the lines right. But after all that was done, it took like 3 hours.
So your lighting took 3 hours?
No, the problem is the first
whole thing?
the whole thing took 3 hours.
Okay.
The first location didn't work out well. The lighting wasn't working out. It didn't feel right. So we changed it. So we had to move all the lighting and move the camera. I had to get everything ready. The lens was a manual lens. 35 millimeter Rokinon. I'm not sure if I pronounced that
Rokinon.
Right. So I had to adjust it, zoom on his face, make sure it wasn't out of focus, and then he had to practice lines. He was struggling because it sounded more like a presentation rather than speaking. So let me give you an example. When I greet you today, was I like, "Hello, TJ. It's great to see you today. How are you doing? I am great. Good. TJ, you ready for the podcast?" Yes.
No, you didn't do that. You're like, "Yeah." What was it that you said? I love that. I swear to God, I'm going to start using that. Somebody says hello to me, I'm like, no, and just walk,
just walk away,
and just keep. I should say that and just kind of walk. I was gonna say walk like a soldier, but I don't know if people would take it the wrong way.
Do the bodybuilder. You gotta make seriously. You can't smile. You have a serious face. Serious business, but
Yeah, another thing about it is the whole process of filmmaking, of preparing, of setting up lights and stuff.
That's a lot. I didn't realize how much it was.
It can make people robotic when it's finally time. Yeah, like you're saying, like the guy, he might have been just more natural if we could have just walked into a room and just started shooting. Versus, all right, you sit here. We're gonna set up the lights there. We're gonna make sure this is hitting you. All right, turn this on, turn that off. Okay, turn this on, turn that off.
TJ.
All right. So you ready to go? You are ready to go? Okay, cool. You want anything to drink? Okay, cool. All right, cameras, ready, sound. All right, lights. Okay, cool. All right, so be natural in 3, 2, 1, go.
TJ didn't have someone like me. Let me explain to you what happened. I took public speaking with Toastmasters, right, for 2 years.
Okay.
And I also did public speaking at USF for about a year and a half for an organization called Transition Masters, but essentially it was Transition Mentors, but it was a part of the Office of Orientation. They basically make sure the students transfer and have all information, have everything ready to go, so that way they can start classes and have no problems or anything, which is a lot when you account for everything.
Right.
But I'd have to speak in front of crowds of 20 to 30 people, 50 to sometimes the big crowd when they were in the main auditorium, which is like 400 plus.
Okay.
And I would do it all the time. And when I realized what worked is when you simply talk to people like this, how you are. The difference between how I'm talking now and how I'm talking like this is
back to you, Kelvin, and that's the weather.
Is the speed and the I think it's the stress in the voice. See, if I'm doing most public speakers say, "This is how we do it. We have to do this," and yeah. You know, it's like you can feel like they're giving a speech. It's like, okay, I'm giving a speech. But if you slow down while you're speaking, you can still be nervous, but it sounds more natural.
That is true.
Like I'm doing now. So I said, listen, because I've done it before, you have to speak slowly. It's going to feel extremely uncomfortable. It's going to feel like you're speaking speaking slow, and you're going to lose people's attention. But what you're really doing is you're capturing their attention because you're taking your time speaking. And when you're taking time speaking, you draw the audience in. I can see your eyes like you. I can see your eyes right now drawn into me.
Yeah, your pull is very strong. I can't help it.
But it's amazing because I didn't realize I would apply that to that video. I didn't realize I could apply it. I actually helped him, and it worked out perfectly. When he did it, it only took 2 takes because he did several takes before that. It wasn't working out. Then he was able to nail down 2 takes. He's had to work on some things, simple things like stuttering and forgetting facts. But once that was beautiful, done, all I gotta do is put it together.
So you basically just told him to slow down. That was basically his main issue. Yeah.
So the main thing is if it's like a commercial thing, like someone's doing an intro or the people.
Was it a commercial, by the way?
It was for his website. He's trying to start an organization to bridge the gap between what young people want to be and the people who they want to become together. Mm. So say for instance you want to become a producer or a big shot filmmaker, make loads of cash. I'm just giving an example.
He's going to connect me with a producer.
Yeah, trying to find a way. Yeah, trying to find a connect. And mostly the group he's trying to focus on is individuals that don't have the opportunities to do that in low economic areas. So this is what the intro video was for. I believed in what he was doing, so it's one of the reasons why I spent that long length of time doing it. If there's anyone else, like an organization I didn't really care for, I would say, listen, you got to pay me food, something. But he was a good friend, and I believe he's doing, so I did that.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. But I think I guess to point that out, after all that, it was only like it's only supposed to be like a 30-second minute video. But I didn't realize how much it took because I had to have to make sure the light stand, I had to make sure all the lights were set, the wires were in the way, I had to make sure the light that was hitting the background wasn't in the shot because since it wasn't powerful, I had to get close to him. Mm-hmm. I had to make sure he was positioned right. The Sony A7 II, the camera I was using, for some reason when you do a video, it like zooms in, it like cuts out a section. So I have to make sure before I do it, I have enough room outside of around him, so that way when it zooms in, it doesn't cut out. And the last thing was to make sure that he had separate audio because the room is similar to this where it would echo a little bit, and Rode mic would pick all that up. The Zoom one did not. So worked out well.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. When did you finish it? Like, was this like?
I filmed it on Wednesday.
Is it, and you're adding, that's what you were saying you were trying to edit.
Yeah, I need your help. It's pretty simple. I just got to cut it because I had him clap for the audio. I learned that from you. I had him clap for the audio. Thank you, by the way.
You're welcome.
So I can see it on the, so when I try and match the audio, I can see where he clapped and from where he started, and I can match it. But yeah, I just need to put it together and send it to him. His brother's going to do some editing with it. I think he send the full video with audio and everything.
That's such a pain. Yeah, I was doing some of that for Good Friends. This is where I had to manually go in, find the clap, and match it up. It's a pain. The program actually does it, can do it automatically.
Yeah, Premiere Pro does it. I know that. Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you have to do it is a pain. So, like, any opportunity that I can to connect that mic to that camera, I always take advantage of it because it's just saving yourself time.
Can't you do that with like the I think it's the Sennheiser mic? I know there's some mics you can connect to the camera, and then you can connect the mic to the person. It will wirelessly connect the audio.
Well, if you're not an audio person. So I'm an audio person. So what happens is it doesn't matter what mic I'm using. Whatever my recorder gives me the ability to go to a camera or to like a soundboard or something like that. So basically my audio setup, I shoot with the NTG2, and that's a Rode mic, and it goes XLR into recorder, either a Tascam. Well, actually both my recorders are Tascams. So it goes in XLR, and then if I'm shooting on a Canon like DSLR, I go out through a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack into the side of the camera, which is 3.5 millimeters. Some cameras you can they have a XLR input, so you should use the XLR if you have that option.
Some of the full frames do.
They're just more protected. They're more stable signals, but the 3.5 works in most situations. It's good quality, so you just need to make sure you have a good quality cord or whatever. But anytime that I can connect it to the camera, I always do it. I always regret when I don't. I've never not done it and not kicked myself for not connecting directly to the camera, because it just takes time to sync up the audio. You have to editors have to have a specific time or audio syncing portion of the editing process. If you haven't done that, so you have to do a editing sequence, audio syncing part before, when you find all your clips, so that whatever clip you want, you have the audio to go with it. And it's a pain, so why do that? One thing that I've been doing more and more of is wirelessly connecting to the camera. So
that's all I was asking about. I know there's on Amazon, I've seen some products where you attach to the camera and then you can have a wireless mic on the person, and it directly feeds to the camera.
So imagine this. So I've got the boom mic, right, with the cord going directly to my recorder. So instead of outing, like say I'm shooting on a Canon, instead of doing a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack from the recorder to the camera, I have a Bluetooth transmitter coming out of the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. There's no cord, there's just a little transmitter. The receiver, also a Bluetooth device, plugged into the camera. So there's no wire between there. This way I can kind of walk around anywhere I want. I don't have to worry about tripping over the cord, knocking it out of the camera, anything like that. So the quality is better if you have a direct line, but the difference in quality is very negligible in most cases. If you spent more than $3 on the transmitter, like instead spend $27 on the transmitter and receiver, then you're getting a better signal. So definitely it would
save time.
So it would be better if you go directly through the cord. But if it's a short project where it doesn't need to be the best audio in the world, if you just if you know you're going to put music over it anyways, and nobody would notice. Yeah,
that's if I'm recording events, I would do that. But I was thinking that's a good idea, because if I were to do say for an event, I do a video, right? I use a Rode mic for general things. But say if I'm doing an interview, it'd be great to pull out a wireless receiver, like something I can put the receiver on the camera as well as a wireless mic on the person, so I can record the interview. Because when you're outside, you get the birds chirping, you got people talking in the background. There's a lot of elements that you can't control, and having a lav mic and being able to set the audio levels or the input levels, I realized is a great thing. Because when I was doing the interview with him, the one thing I liked about the Zoom was, since the audio level was low enough to where I could just hear him, I couldn't hear his wife changing the paper. I couldn't hear the echo in the background. And it couldn't even, I think, there was one time his daughter was playing games. She may have dropped something. You couldn't hear that either. You could just hear him, which is beautiful. The Rode mic, you can hear everything, which makes sense. It's meant to take audio from a certain direction.
Shotgun mic.
Yeah, shotgun mic, right. So that's actually when I was looking to invest.
Well, let me ask you this: that the Rode mic, where you're just pointing it directly at him, like straight on, like I'm looking at you right now.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's why we boom. So we'll take that mic and point it down over the subject, so that we're not getting not just our subject, but everything behind them too, because it's directional. We would point it. I would boom it so that it's directly over their mouth area, and the signal that I'm getting is coming directly over that way.
I'll still need the wireless receiver, because it's I would have to plug it in to the receiver and have something plugged into the camera.
Right. Now there's an issue that can come up when you're trying to send your signal to a lot of places. Like I have a recorder that, like this recorder right here, you can put in 2 XLRs. So if I had 2 mics, one can go here, one can go here. I have one that does 6. I have one that does up to 8 audio sources. So like if I had a wireless mic on like 8 people, it records all the audio from each one independently at the same time. So I can go to take 1, and there's 8 take 1s, and I know 8.1 is this actor, 8.2 is this actor, 8.5 is this actor. When you want to transmit that, like not just record it on the recorder, but transmit that to the camera, for example, if you were to take just one out, like there's one out on this recorder here, let's say I want to send it to 2 cameras because I got 2 cameras going. If I split that signal, I've weakened the sound. I've weakened that signal. So what can happen, even if you're doing it wirelessly, is if you have it going one direction, and then you also have it going another direction, and then maybe a third direction, because maybe you're doing that 3-camera shoot up, your audio is going to lose quality because the sound is going to be weaker. The signal is going to be weaker.
So is it better to use a separate audio source then for that? I know some people use Zoom. A lot of people use like the Zoom 6 or Zoom 8, and they'll have several people recording on it. And while they're having the camera, they just sync the audio later on.
Well, one solution would be to just use a preamp. So before you go from the recorder to the camera, you go to a preamp, which basically boosts the sound, but clean. It's like
my girlfriend's boyfriend talked about that. Girlfriend's brother talked about that. He plays guitar.
Boyfriend.
I know. It's like her brother talked about that. He's into playing music, guitar, and stuff like that. It's about preamps and other things. He is very much into audio. He mentioned this about that, but I never really understood what he was talking about until now.
Yeah, the general principle behind audio is basically, if you're going to record, you want your mic to be as close to your subject as possible so that you get all the detail being captured. The further you are away, your voice, some of that detail gets lost. So you get close. And what that means is your signal, my voice, is stronger. The stronger your signal, the better it is, the more clear it is, the more you can do with it. Now, if you have a low signal because you're going to be sending it to maybe a few different places, or maybe your recorder just doesn't send a very loud signal, then you would need a preamp. A preamp would take that signal and make it louder, but not digitally, so that it's not adding grain and it's lowering the quality as it's getting louder. It lifts it up cleanly. So that's what preamps would do really well. Most modern recorders have preamps built in, like that one has a preamp built in, but I also have a separate, like, independent preamp where all it does is is boost sound signals. So I would, in a case where I feel like my audio is not going to be loud enough, I would go into that and then go to the camera, so I get that boost before it goes to the camera.
Preamp, look that up. That's interesting, because I was actually looking to invest in some lighting and audio, and I never knew to actually need that.
Let me. You want to see what one looks like?
Yeah,
there's one right
here. Is
here
there
in the
one
room.
I can use?
Hang on 1 second. Watch this.
Is there something that's more mobile? Out of curiosity.
good because I can kind of show you right here. Okay, so thought I heard a voice.
That's something else, Google.
Okay. For people watching, this is an independent preamp device. So this is not a recorder. It's just a device that you send your signal to this before it goes to your camera, and then it gets boosted, and then it goes out to your camera.
Okay. Is there say if I was doing an event, is there anything small and mobile or something you have to carry?
Oh, that's basically as small as it gets.
Dang.
Basically, that's a preamp too. That soundboard.
Okay.
So the audio goes into that. It doesn't record. So what does it do? It's able to boost the signal. It's able to turn down the highs, turn up the highs or the midtones of the signal before it actually gets to your recording device. So then it goes to this recording device, and it also goes to the computer. So, this is as mobile as it gets. So, like, that's why it has a strap on it. I would just basically, like, strap this on.
Demonstration.
And sometimes I would have both the recorder and the preamp on, so I would be booming overhead.
Oh, I remember this. You did this a lot during
and then the cord goes here, and then you would see the cord go to the other device too.
Gotcha.
So it would be getting.
So if
loud.
I had a camera, if I was recording, if I was interviewing someone at an event, how would I actually use this? Would I?
Well, would your equipment be stationary? Like, would your camera be set up on a tripod?
Yes.
So then you would have this, and then your recorder. Would you have a recorder to go with that?
What do you mean recorder?
Did you say you were recording on a Zoom for your interview?
Yes, but if you're trying to do it directly to the camera, could you do it directly to the camera through the amp?
You could, yeah. You could bypass the recorder entirely and just go from the mic to the preamp to the camera.
So how would I do that? Would you do it with a Rode mic? How would you do that directly?
So let's say you have a Rode mic, right? In this case, these are all the ways where you input. So one of your mic is going to go in one of these. As you can see, it can do up to 3 signals at a time. Now you have a Rode Video Mic Pro.
Yeah,
So that would be like a 3.5. So you would put like a little XLR to 3.5 converter on this side.
Yeah, I was figuring. Yeah, that makes more sense.
So then you take your signal, you boost it, comes out of the other end, and then you go to your camera. And you might need a converter for that side too.
Right, that makes more sense because if you had because I know some of the full frame cameras have XLR cables, so you can plug it in direct. You can use the XLR cable to plug in the amp direct to the camera, but you probably still would need a.
You need one for both
converter.
sides. Yeah.
Well, no. Some of the cameras have XLR. I think they have imports too.
Oh, well, some do.
Yeah, so you can. So technically, you'd only not if you have that camera, you only need one converter.
Correct.
For the mic.
Correct. And of course, obviously, the risk that you take if you go directly from your preamp to your camera instead of recorder first is if for any reason your camera is not set right, you're not getting audio, you have no backup file to rely on.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So just like the other podcasts where we had the video and the audio being recorded at the same time, we lost the video,
but you still had the audio.
We still had the audio.
So it's better to record both anyway.
It depends.
If it's commercial purposes,
I haven't always been safe. I haven't always done it safe. And
well, you take risk. What? I thought you planned everything out.
Well, I mean, I haven't done a commercial work in a while. So, and I'm pretty confident in what I do. And when I shoot, I usually have like the audio bars on the screen of the camera, so I can kind of see that I'm getting levels anyway. Also, do you remember in Film Punks the call process? Like, you weren't shooting with us; you were kind of doing the media stuff. So, what we do is it's always a process before we actually go action. It's actors, they ready, audio, red, Red means I'm looking at my device and I see the red light, which means it's recording.
Oh, I do remember. Well, that was during the set, right? During the filming? Yeah, I do remember that. I remember y'all. Yeah. I kind of got what you were doing, but yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so audio red. Camera A, red. B, red. Everybody's looking to make sure their devices are actually recording. And we just make checking the devices and making sure that they're on and functioning, we make that a part of the process, a part of each and every take. So before we get into the acting and all that stuff, making sure the performance is getting recorded, make sure everything is working right. So, and that's why we say red instead of speed or recording. We're looking for that little red dot that makes sure it's recording, and at the same time, you see that the audio levels are coming through too. So, good habits, good routines, I guess.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, I forgot where we started. Before we got on down this rabbit hole.
So one of the things it's actually pretty. I don't think we're going down a rabbit hole. I think we're going the right way. Because I would like to get into more. I like doing events, but I like to do an add-on thing, like be able to interview the guests as an add-on for the services I do. Because you can create customer testimonials and all that good stuff that corporations love to use for their social media. But the main thing I want to do is doing simple, because a lot of commercial stuff, like interviews and doing like the intro bio video I did, is simple stuff where I can learn the basics, and then I can expand out of that. But I want to get the basics down first. It's like I'm taking salsa. I'm not sure if I told you, but I'm taking salsa lessons. And they said, no matter what you do, I guess you didn't know, no matter what you do, and what you learn is that your foundation is the steps you do, which is too simple. The steps with your feet, not your upper body. But they have it's a 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 step. The 4 and the 8 are silent. It's more like a slight pause. But if you don't have those steps right, and if you're not synced with the music that you're dancing with, everything else falls out of line. I believe the same thing happens with lighting. If you don't have maybe a clear vision on what you want to do, if you don't have the basics of setting up lighting, just like in photography or video, they say learn aperture, ISO, and shutter speed. If you can't understand the simple basics right there, you can have a tough time later on when you get into things like for instance, lighting and color, temperature, and all this other crazy stuff. Probably other things I probably haven't mentioned that you can think on top of your head. But I think learning the basics for me right now is what's important.
That's good. It's a good place to start. You got to take it step by step. You're not going to know the significance of aperture, ISO, and shutter speed other than the fact that they all can make your exposure.
The circle of life.
Yeah, it is kind of like a circle of life. All you know is they're making your screen brighter or darker. They all do brightness and darkness, but what you got to understand is what is also happening at the same time because of the way each one functions. You got to understand and learn that ISO, it'll make your image brighter or darker, but it's doing it digitally, which means that more ISO you use, the more grain you get. The less you use, it's going to be cleaner, but it's going to be darker. Aperture, the wider your aperture, the depth of field that gets affected. The smaller your aperture, depth of field gets affected in the opposite direction. Shutter speed, you're going to increase or decrease your exposure with shutter speed, well then your motion blur is going to be affected. So you just got to understand all these little specific controls that are a part of the camera are there for a reason. They usually affect more than one thing. And you do have to learn, step by step. And focusing on one thing at a time makes a whole lot of sense. Eventually, you'll get it all. But you get it by learning. Because it's like I can tell you ahead of time everything that you need to know and how everything works and what's going to happen by the end. But until you actually go through the process and it's like you learn it for yourself, then it will be easy to remember. It'll be much easier. So yeah, learn those basics. So you're doing all of it yourself right now. So,
well, the thing is, I need to focus. I'm simplifying things I'm doing. So what I'm going to create I guess you said like a blog or I guess type of like a social media thing. I call it TOE. It's Tampa Outdoor Events. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create content. Like I'm gonna write, I'm gonna take photos, I'm gonna do videos, and I'm gonna kind of use that as practice, but also as content to attract clients in regards to doing events. I really enjoy doing events, not weddings, but doing like corporate events, running events, stuff like that. So
nothing wrong with that, as long as you enjoy it.
Yeah. So I also want to I'm trying to bridge the gap between what I like and what I can get paid for, because I know there's a big market there for weddings and family and portraits, but it's just it's not something. It's one of those things you really have to. I think you really have to get into, especially when you're dealing with people versus products.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're right. Weddings can be a pain in the ass. It's corporate events are just kind of clean cut. You know what you're getting. You know what to expect each and every time, because it's just business. Everybody understands what's happening on both sides. Weddings are different. You get married once. Most people. Well, actually, most people get. Well, if you're gonna get married,
it's like the big moment. There's emotions. The family's there. There's kids. There's different personalities.
Yeah, and they think they're the most important people in the world at the time.
Exactly.
So it's
you only get one shot. You only get one chance.
Yeah.
The corporate events. The only one chance I've experienced would be like if there's awards. You gotta make sure you're shooting the awards. But besides that, people just make sure you get some expressions on people's faces without them noticing you, so they don't change up.
Kamari Ross is my photographer. Every time I get married, I hire him.
Oh God!
How many times have you been married, ma'am? 4.
It's not about how many times, TJ. It's that you find the right one.
And it's about not giving up. You never give up.
How long did it take Edison to light the light bulb? I forgot how many, but it was a lot.
Don't know, because it was Tesla who was doing it at the time.
It was.
That's what I heard.
He was a good businessman.
He was an extremely good businessman. Edison was, at least.
I don't know. Tesla's got a cool car named after him now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he will not reap the benefits of that. That's
he would have been proud, though.
Did you hear about the Roadster? There's supposed to be I thought I heard there was going to be a Tesla that was going to be like an affordable, like a wide.
Let's see it.
I hate doing it by myself.
Let's do Google Images.
But
I've heard. I know Tesla had 3 phases. The first phase of cars it's going to be expensive, and the second one, I remember it was serious, and and not everyone was going to buy it. The second was going to be medium, and the last one was going to be more like sedans, more affordable Teslas from there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I think that's supposed to be like 50,000 or something like that.
50,000. Wait, how much was the top one? Jesus.
Well, let me find. I don't know the names of the.
I've seen some smaller versions recently come up.
Let me see. I saw one that's called the Roadster that's like over $250,000.
Jesus.
And there's another one. I'm thinking of the one that's supposed to be affordable.
That looks 44,000 is not bad for a new car.
But look at this, 44. Yeah, for a Tesla.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Cars in general usually.
The Model 3. Let's see here.
I think I've seen that.
I like the way their cars look.
Yes, actually, I've seen this one. I've seen it at the dealership I work at. It looks like a hybrid sedan, but it's I've seen those before. They have some here in Tampa, of course.
Oh yeah, you being a car photographer.
There's the clientele that stops by there, and I see a lot of Teslas on my way to work. The Teslas look nice. They're aesthetically pleasing.
They are.
They've got
my boss at my other place used to drive his Tesla to work every day. He'd be parked in his special place like a dick. Nobody else could afford a Tesla. I was like, dude, why would you drive that fucking car to work every day?
Which model was it? Was it the first one?
I don't know. I just know it was a Tesla, which means you can't afford it.
You could afford it with payments of $500 per month.
Yeah, right.
The insurance must be crazy on that. I don't know how much they basically probably would reap you. They probably basically would just like own you, because anything new like that, expensive like that, you would have to pay a lot of insurance money, especially you as a man. You as a male. Sorry, male. How old are you? Are you under 25 or over 25?
Why are you asking a man his age?
Because insurance purposes. Never mind, forget it. The point I'm trying to make is, you have to, we're more at risk. We take more risk or whatever. So
definitely, we're stupider on roads.
No, we're not. We're amazing.
We are amazing. We are not the brightest individuals.
Amazing. We are amazing.
You can keep saying it all you want. It ain't gonna make it true.
Amazing.
I'm 30.
Amazing. Thoughts are things.
Or I'm gonna be 30 this year.
Thoughts are things, TJ. If you say it, it becomes real.
Millionaire.
Say it every morning, TJ.
Millionaire. I wake up every day. Millionaire. That's me in 5 years. Millionaire.
Growth is coming to you, TJ.
Millionaire. Listen to the dicks online. Why don't you just be a millionaire in 5 minutes? Why you gotta say 5 years? Because I'm trying to be realistic, asshole. That's why. You could get that email from the African prince, and actually might be real, and you might actually get the. All I gotta do is spend $500 to get him to the States. Then he'll be able to make contact with his
people.
His people.
I always cracked me up. I was like, who follow this? It works because they keep sending it. But those Teslas look really nice.
I thought so many times about ripping people off like that. It's not that hard. It really isn't. There are some idiots out there. I know. I see them.
So yeah, why are we getting to Tesla again? I forgot we're getting Tesla. Oh, because we talked about Tesla and
you talked about Tesla and all that.
I did talk about Tesla,
but I brought up the car, so it's my fault.
Yeah, that's all about it. I'm interested in lighting, and I just noticed how much it affects everything.
So that's going to be like your main. Let's say if you had to break down your specialty, do you want the camera, or do you microphone, or the lights? You're gonna pick the lights.
It's so tough because doing pictures. Because if I was doing photography, it'd be pretty simple. You just get like a full frame camera. I would get the ones with the 40-something megapixels. Get I forgot the name of it. I'm gonna use the slang term, a flash condom, to make sure. I don't know the actual name. It's like the attachment you put on the top. And then I'll be good to go for events.
Oh, to block the... What the fuck did you say?
Flash condom.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I would get the... there's different times because I want to get into club
Definitely can't find it on Amazon by typing in flash condom.
I know. I tried. I tried. I realized the real name is called something else. After doing some research on Reddit and stuff like that, I found the real name and I found a good brand. Yeah. So essentially, I'm trying to see whether or not what to actually invest my money in because I have a certain budget. But what I really want is the more powerful lighting, because I thought about a lot of lighting can be powered by batteries or by the power cords. So I can imagine myself like doing some of these events. I'm gonna do some volunteer ones, but I'm only gonna do the ones where I can do video as well. Because a lot of events where if you volunteer, and you're the only photographer, they expect to take all the pictures. So I'm not doing that. I'm now gonna do events where I could do like interviews and try to test my craft and try to do different things. Not too many of them, and then I'll apply it to my work. But really, I just need to focus on marketing. Besides that fact, I don't know. I'm actually trying to figure that out right now, because I invested a lot of money in the Sony A-mount camera, which Sony is no longer investing in. They're investing in the E-mount mirrorless lenses, mirrorless cameras.
Sucker.
I know. I have a 6000 with a Zeiss lens. It's pretty good, a 24-70. But now I'm trying to figure out. It's Zeiss.
It's called Zeiss, but continue.
But sorry. Maybe you can help me out. I'm trying to figure out. Excuse me. I don't have the money to get everything, but I was trying to see if my budget should either be 1,000 or 500
for For what now? What are you trying to get?
I'm trying to see what to get. I'm trying to decide whether between getting a camera, lighting.
Okay, so general film equipment. So what do you? I was talking to Anthony yesterday about this. So what do you have right now as far as like, let's say you had to make a production, movie, short film, commercial, whatever, on your own, right? Just with all the equipment you have. What do you have right now that you would use for filmmaking?
Okay, so I have 2 cameras.
Which ones?
A772 and the A6000.
Okay, 2 Sonys. Okay. What lenses do you have to go with those?
For the A mount, I have a 50. I have an 85. I have a 125 or 115, and I have the 35. I also have a 24 to 70 2.8 and a 70 to 200 f4. Majority of them are Minoltas and some vintage lenses, but they still do the job. I have some other lenses like I think I have another 70-200, but it's the one where the aperture changes as you zoom in. One of the beginning lenses I have. And then for the E mount, the A6000, I have the Zeiss. Is that correct?
Correct.
24 to 70 f4, and I have I think it's a 15 millimeter wide prime. That's for camera and lenses. As for audio wise, I have the Zoom, the Zoom 1. I have 2 Rode mics. One's the Video Pro.
Wait, it's called. You have the Zoom 1 model.
Yeah, Zoom 1 model.
It's just called Zoom 1.
I think it's H1 or
Zoom H1N.
I think so. Zoom H1. Yeah, I was correct. H1. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Okay,
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
It really costs $100? I don't remember it costing $100.
Well, if you get it from there, what if you bought it from eBay?
I think I bought it from eBay. I don't remember it costing that much. But I got the Zoom, 2 Rode mics.
So your Zoom, your 2 Rode mics are the Rode Video Mic Pro?
One's a video mic, not, what do you mean pro? That's the top one, right? The fat, it's like, I know it has like a fat mic on it. And one doesn't.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I have that one.
So
that's
your
the one,
Zoom.
the top one, yeah.
Yeah, $68 sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then your Rode, there's a Video Mic, and then there's Video Mic Pro. Video Mic Pro is smaller. Here's a Rode Video Mic. It's bigger, beefier, old school. That's the Pro.
That's the one I have.
You have the smaller one?
The top one.
Okay.
The other one, there's a bigger one I know.
Yeah, with the bigger cord and everything. So I have.
Is that better? Is that? I don't understand that.
No, the smaller one is better.
Really? Okay, that's what I thought. I don't see a lot of people have the big one.
The smaller one. What makes the smaller one better is the sound quality is only a tiny bit better, but it also has a preamp in it, so you can boost.
Is that the top? I know. Is that the?
It's the bottom.
It's the bottom one. It's like -10, 0, and then like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, because when I was doing the interview, I put on -10 to make, because I noticed when it was too high, like that was in the red when I was recording it. Yeah. Okay. The new one doesn't have that. I think it does.
I don't know the newest one. I just have the Rode Video Mic is the newest Rode mic with the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack.
Got it.
I like this here. This one down there looks kind of interesting. That $58 one.
I have that one as well.
So
I had to buy a different cord for my phone though, if you are going to use it for, because I use that for my phone sometimes on the L arm.
Oh, I remember when you were telling me about that.
Yeah.
But how's the quality of it?
It's good for social media. I wouldn't say film.
Is it noticeably not as good as the Video Mic Pro?
I haven't really done an audio test. I haven't really done an audio test like that yet.
So you think they were quite similar on par?
No, I would say
Be?
Because you can't control the audio levels. That's the main thing. That's actually is the biggest thing about that one. So when I say social media, I mean, like, when you're doing social media, you're not yelling and screaming on top of your lungs. It's not a hopefully there's not a lot of things going on in the background. But you can't. It doesn't have an amp on it, so if it's loud and you see the red in your camera, there's something you can do about it. So that's. I mean, I think it's good for starting out. That's why I start out with. But I would essentially go, if I was telling someone if they were starting out, I would say you can start out with that. But if they're serious, I wouldn't go with that one.
Okay.
It's good for...
I would agree. Okay. So your Video Mic Pro and your Red Video Mic Go?
Yeah.
Okay. Go. I kind of like the name.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, don't really worry about it. Just plug it in and go. And what else you got?
I think I have 3 or 4 light stands.
Okay.
One of them is actually...
and it seems like you're pretty... So far, it sounds like you're pretty optimized for mobility. Like all this stuff is very light. And
mobile, yeah.
Okay. And you have 3 light stands? Okay.
2 camera... 2 tripods. Yeah, 2 tripods. I have 2 monopods. And then I have I don't know what it's called, but I saw it in your room. It's essentially you can attach it to the light stand, and you can hold a 5-1 reflector on it or a diffuser. It has like 2 clips at the end. I forgot what that's called.
A clamp?
Not necessarily a clamp. It's don't do that.
I nailed it, didn't I?
Don't do it. I know what a clamp is. Maybe it's a clamp, but essentially you have the light stand, and you attach it to the top of it, but it's adjustable, so you can move it up and down, and at each end it has adjustable. I guess you call them clamps, and you can fit the 5-1 reflector in it, but it's not holding it. Like, and a 5-1 reflector is not dangling; it's holding it in place. And what I need to do, you just reminded me, I bought 2 sandbags. I need to fill them with sand so I can put them on the light stand. I might just go to USF and go to that little lounge area and just steal some sand from there. No, it's not that.
I know, I was just joking.
I know, I
was being a dick. My bad.
Clamps.
You sure it's not the thing where you squeeze and when you let go, it squeezes?
You know, maybe Tim Bundy had a reason for being a serial killer.
Sir, I am so sorry.
Yeah, but optimized mobility is my.
So we're definitely saying it's not these.
No, it's not that. It's not. I confirm. I know what a clamp is.
I know what you're talking about. So it takes the stick and it adds it to the stick. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It works.
I forget what it's called, actually.
I found for the video the umbrella works
C
better.
joint, something like that. It's for C stands.
Yeah. The umbrella worked better for the video. I just put all the lights in there and it just spread the light out on him. It was a lot easier that way. I know there's different ways to do it, but the lights I want to get is going to be the ones with the, I don't know what they're called, little flaps on the side, so you can actually direct them.
Barn doors.
Barn doors
is the film ghetto name for them. Other people call them shutters.
Shutters, barn doors. Yes.
Which lights do you have?
I have to look.
They're LEDs.
Yeah. Hold on. Your orders. I find this actually very helpful. 1 second. Filter. 2008.
I'm so happy that we have LEDs because the technology is just so cheap. Well, so efficient.
It's called Video Lighting Zecti 144 LED. I guess put Zecti. It's ZECTI. They're good for running gun, or like if you're inside a club.
Oh yeah, it's very small. I think I have 1 or 2 of those.
Not that. That looks a little bit smaller.
Are they that small?
It was that one right there. Video Lighting Zecti, 144 LED, in the middle with the 5 stars.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I think it's good for a dark area, like if you're up close. Maybe you're in a club or in an event or something where you need to. It needs to be like that, but. Fun fact: they actually sent to the wrong address when I first bought them, and so I ordered some more, and I got a refund, and they somehow,
and then they arrived.
Yeah,
a couple days later.
They're a couple days later.
I've done that too.
I didn't do it on purpose, though. It was sent to the wrong location. I actually went to the person's apartment to try to get it from, but he was already gone. So it just magically appeared later on. So I was like, whatever.
Hey, well, every now and then, everyone deserves a little Christmas present. I'm sure everyone's had it. That if you buy shit on eBay a lot, you may have had that experience once or twice.
Yeah,
I've definitely had it at least twice. But I buy shit all the time, so I don't feel bad about it.
So
and then also though, when sometimes when you try to message the seller or whatever, they're kind of a jerk about it. So, well, I definitely sent it.
Yeah,
they're
not going to get back the money.
The way that they'll piss you off sometimes. They'll be like, well, did you look next to your door? Have you made sure that it's not right in front of your face somewhere, you moron?
Yeah. So they told you, TJ? Do you have
I know
evidence?
what they're thinking. I know what they're thinking.
You're implied. Dang, they died. There was, the lights. But I'm definitely
charge your phone.
Yes, it's dead. So okay, but because you probably got to wrap up soon, anyways. But the point, I guess, the point I'm trying to figure out is, all this stuff is pretty expensive, and I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna do stuff like commercial photography. You need something more. I need something more reliable, like for instance a camera that can record on both SIM cards. But for right now, since I'm not doing anything like huge, this is something I gotta think about. So I'm trying to decide whether to invest in things like lighting for video, or to just continue to buy just go ahead and just buy a full frame camera, but that costs a lot of money.
And on the other end of all of what you were talking about, you have editing software.
Somewhat.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
So as far as your equipment, so let me ask you, like, what are you most satisfied with as far as what you're able to do with all your equipment right now? Like, are you most satisfied with what your camera can do, or are you most satisfied with what your Rode mic can do, or your lighting? Is there anything that you like that you wouldn't change what you do right now?
I like everything. It's just the editing software. The Vegas is a pain in the butt.
So when you say you want to invest in more equipment, is there any specific equipment that you feel that you don't have now that you were thinking you should?
Probably just more powerful lights. I can use just powerful lights and like a ring light. It'll make headshots a lot easier than doing flash. I think I'm just going to use flash for just things like like the artsy fartsy stuff you do with meetups and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's I noticed the lighting is artificial lighting is more consistent. It's more predictable. Less than flash. Flash is good for maybe event photography, but if I was going to do videos or headshots, I'd probably do.
So you're happy with your image quality right now, video and photography wise?
I mean, it can always be better. I don't need a high def video camera or pictures. Right? It's put it this way. For events, I would definitely need something that's really good with low light. Okay.
Do you feel like yours are good with low light, aren't they?
The Sony A7 II it's good. I'm just trying to say, when you say good with low light, like when you zoom into the picture, do you see like stark detail, or are you talking about like for instance, if you turn the ISO up, it's not going to be grainy?
When I say good with low light, I guess I mean, like, is your camera known for having a big sensor so that it can pick up low light shots without much lighting? So, like, for example, the Sony A7S Mark II.
No,
those are really good. Okay,
that's not a full frame. I know full frame cameras are known for that. No.
Okay, so they're not full frame cameras. These are mirrorless. Are they 4K?
No,
they're not.
No.
Full HD?
Yes.
Okay. But they're not great at low light.
Correct.
Okay. Well, then you probably do want better lighting, because those are the limitations on your image quality. So it probably does make sense to focus more on the lighting than anything else. So like a lighting panel would probably be what you want. Let me see. LED.
When would you think is a good time to upgrade the camera, though?
Immediately, if you know, it depends on what it is that you really need to improve. Like if I needed to go for 4K video, I would be looking at Sony. That's available now. If I need 8K or something like that, you're looking at something else.
Yeah.
And, you know, you may not be able to get that. If I know I'm just starting out and I have a lot to learn about cameras, I might be just looking at getting a Canon DSLR. There's a lot that you can do with a Canon DSLR. And then while you're learning to use that, a lot of what you're learning on that you can apply to other cameras.
No, I agree.
So you can get great quality out of a high definition HD video camera. It has certain limitations, but I mean we shot on it. For lots of people shoot on Canon, you know. And they're pretty okay with light. Well, DSLRs are usually very good with low light, but Sony's cameras are on a different level as far as like their sensor size, their A7s. So the bigger your sensor, the better as far as lighting. So you probably want like a bigger light panel. These seem small.
Yeah, you gotta be specific. Actually, go up. That one's a little bit bigger. You think you skipped it. Like that one right there in the middle.
Yeah.
2 batteries and all that will be bigger. There's one I think you pass by.
Does it say how many pieces are on it? Does it say that?
Click on it probably. You gotta click on it. I know. I like ones with barn doors. Barn doors.
Yeah, because it helps you control the direction of the lighting
Yeah.
better. That looks actually nice. Imagine getting 2 of those for $60. That'd be nice. Be a good deal, right?
It would, but you know, that's not the life we live.
Hey man, you never know. You're on eBay.
Yeah, you can make deals. The bids are annoying though. I had a camera, I thought I had it, and then right in 30 seconds, right before I was gonna get it, someone outbid me. They waited till the last second.
Oh, I never bid. I never.
Never?
I just go to buy now. That's so annoying. It's like sometimes I'll look at the bid price and mistake that for buying price. It's like, oh, look at that deal. I was like, oh, of course,
It's a bid.
it's a bid, or it's too good to be true. Sometimes when I don't see prices that look right, I look closely at the buyer. I always look closely at the buyer, but I look even more closely at the buyer, and it's look like, oh, well, they haven't sold anything. They don't have any ratings. It's not gonna arrive. If you buy it, it's not gonna get to you.
Why would you say that?
Because it's, you know, either fraudulent or they're not really selling it. It's just something to get you to, you know, there's some scammers on eBay too. But I love eBay because they guarantee you your money back.
Oh, if it doesn't work out.
Yeah. Well, they gave you a refund and you got the product.
That was Amazon.
Oh, that was Amazon?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm 100% sure.
Amazon is a little different from eBay. They don't have a 100% guarantee. Like
I think the difference is I called them. I was like, yo, my package isn't here. I checked the address. It's correct. What the heck's going on? So they gave me the money back, though.
Well, yeah. I think I may be wrong about this, but Amazon, I think it's like, because they have different sellers on their site too, but Amazon is also a seller. So like when you buy from Amazon, I know they have a certain refund policy.
Yeah, I think I bought from Amazon. That's probably what happened.
Yeah. And then if it were a different seller that was just buying through Amazon, it might be different.
SOP.
But yeah, the
SOL.
But eBay, they just guarantee no matter what. They're just like, look, you buy shit all the time. Look, we'll give you your money. Here's $30 for whatever the piano didn't arrive or whatever. Here's your money. You know, they don't have time for that. And I love that. I buy with confidence because of that.
I buy with confidence. I like that.
Absolutely. I stick my chest out when I buy on eBay.
Okay, so then So then, because the thing of my position is, I know the camera I would get for low lighting. It's the Sony A992. But if you want to look it up, you can see the price tag on it. That's the reason why.
How expensive is it?
Oh, I want you to look it up. I'll let you look at it. It is, and the reason is because since a lot of my money is in the A mount cameras, I was going to keep this the A mount for photography and do the E mount for video.
The Mark II?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's a grip. So you're doing at least $2,000 on that camera.
Yeah.
So I haven't heard of that one. I'm behind on my cameras, man. I haven't bought a camera in years now.
That's fine. I think that's fine if you're not. My bad. my bad. If you're doing things commercially, things are a little bit different. But I think I don't know. I'm trying to make a decision on that.
That looks like a goddamn mirror. That's a mirror camera.
Yeah, it is,
sir.
It is.
Wow, what are they doing?
It was It's the last camera. It's the last full frame A mount camera they made, but it's still good. People still suggest it for videos and stuff like that. And it's if you even look on their website, they actually still sell this camera on their website.
Wow, it seems like outdated technology. Does it shoot 4K?
No.
Or is its main selling point is just low light ability?
Yeah, it's megapixels. I think it's like 40 something.
Let's see what the A7.
Hey, there's the 3s out now, I think. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
I was going to get the 2. I was thinking about getting that.
Let me just see what the 2 is sitting at now. Last time I checked, it was about 1,800. Yeah, it's gone down a little bit. 1,500 now. That thing's a low light monster.
It is?
Absolutely. That's the standard for low light. Look how big the sensor is. Look at that. That's the fucking sensor, son. And like Austin has this. Like I have the A7R2. Austin has A7S2. He might have the 3 now. But yeah, we went out shooting one day, and the cameras are very similar, like in their abilities. But mine favors photography more, so it comes with like 42 megapixels.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's 42 megapixels, so you can zoom in and.
In the most optimal mode, if not the most optimal, you're really getting like 36, but who's counting at that level? And then his has less megapixels, like 12 or some shit like that. Yeah. But it shoots 4K. Yeah, it shoots 4K. Mine shoots 4K, but his does slow motion. So
you can actually do it in camera versus.
Well, you're getting a little specific there, but basically he can increase his frame rate to 120. So can I, but his can do it at 180p full HD. Mine does it at 720p, which is HD technically. So yeah, they just have certain advantages. I went more with the other one because I might use it more for photography a lot. So, and he knew he was going to be using video. So, but when it comes to low light, his will definitely outperform mine. Although they're both pretty damn good. But his is like A7S Mark II. It's known for being able to just shoot completely almost dark, and just you can crank up that ISO and it does it so clean. Just so clean. Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it's a great camera.
So would you suggest getting that besides the lighting and everything else?
Yeah, if you're, so that's why I was asking you. It really depends on what you want to improve the most. Is what you're going to direct your budget at. Maybe not spend all your budget on it, but your a good portion of your budget will be for that thing. So if I wanted to go to the next level, like let's say I shoot HD, the next level for me is 4K. Definitely, if I got $2,000, a chunk of that's going to be a new camera. The rest of that may be the supports, like more batteries for the camera. In your case, if you're getting lighting equipment, I can imagine myself getting the support for lighting, like extra battery packs. Those barn doors that you can put on there. Maybe a green screen, or maybe like the studio thing where you can so you can possibly anything that helps with controlling light. So like buying window covers, buying the frame so you can just kind of, if you had to shoot in an office that had big windows, you could just set up the frame through the cover over there, and it's just basically covering the window so you can control the light better. So anything that helps with the lighting. So it really depends on what you want to improve the most. Or if you're new and you're saying your emerging focus out of this is lighting, then that basically can serve as the direction for your spending as well. So if you want to put it more towards lighting than camera image quality or sound quality or editing, you should just mark that off your list, because I'm gonna show you what to do about that. We got plenty of stuff around here, but yeah. So just ask yourself, like, what do you want to improve the most? You know, if you feel like your image quality is fine and you just need better lighting, put that towards lighting. And you don't actually need to make a decision now. You might find out that, hey, the lighting is only going to cost me like $112. All the stuff that I buy for lighting. Still got $400 left. Set the $400 aside. You know, wait. That'll probably add up to something later. And when, let's say you're ready to buy a camera next year, you've got the money already ready.
What about, I guess one last thing, because I guess it's getting kind of late, but that's one last thing I want to ask you. When it comes to investing, so in events, when it comes to investing for a lens, there's only really two lenses you need in photography as a base, which is like it's the 24-70 and the 70-200. If you're doing events specifically,
I
it's all for need. You disagree?
It will depend on the camera too. Like, say if I was shooting on a Canon, I would actually need a 50mm lens too.
Why is that?
Because the Canon with the 50mm will allow the aperture to go to 1.8 versus a zoom lens or most other lenses, you're going to go to 3.5 if it's a zoom lens. If it's a really good zoom lens, you may go to 2. But I would be anticipating the need for like a low lighting situation, so the aperture.
But for an event, I thought your prime lens would be better, since you would have to adjust with whatever's happening.
A prime lens is the 50mm. The zoom lens.
Oh, the zoom lens, yeah.
The zoom lens, what are you talking about? So, zoom lens can be faster than switching primes, but that can also just depend on what the kind of photographer you are. Some photographers, basically, they have a focus. They only use a certain lens because they know all the shots that they take are going to be certain types of shots. So they're not going to take any wide shots. Some photographers like mid to close-up type of shots. So they know that all they need is a 50mm, which it's a very versatile lens anyways, 50, or a 80 or a 85, or something even more closer. But some people need the zoom because they move around a lot, and they can't predict what kind of event it's going to be, but they want to be able to cover anything they need to. So it really depends on the kind of photographer you are, and it sounds like you're the more mobile type, which you may not know everything that's going to happen, but you know that if you have a couple lenses, your whole focal range is covered. So you're correct when you say, really, you only need the 24 to 50 or whatever you said, and then the 70 to 300 or whatever that other one was. I thought that too, and I actually advise people who got new cameras, cover the focal range, get these numbers, and then get yourself a prime lens. A lot of times people didn't really use the whole focal range anyways. So like, if you don't, like, what's the other lens that you said, the second lens?
I kind of thought about it's 2. I thought it was a bug. It's the 24 to 70 and the 70-200.
70 to 200?
Yeah.
Do you ever shoot at 200?
Sometimes. If it's a large area, a large room.
What do you do most often?
24 to 70.
24 to 70? And on the other lens, what do you do most often in that?
What do you mean?
Like, what part of the focal lens?
Oh, it'll probably be the 70 to 80 range. I don't zoom in all the way unless I'm far away.
Unless you're far away. And even if you zoom in from far away, if you're not on a tripod, with good lighting, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
now?
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So you really and truly that 24 to 70 and then an 85 would do you well, because that's what you use on those zooms. You're using a certain portion anyways.
So cut the cost down and only focus what you need. That's what you're basically saying.
Yeah, and I mean, really, the only people who use the whole part of the focal lens are usually the more inexperienced.
Nature, it's like most I would say nature people. But
yeah. Well, you're doing events during the day or at night?
both.
Both. Okay. Well, zooms make sense when you don't know what you're gonna get. When you want to be prepared for a lot of things, zooms make sense. But when you know specifically what you're going, either specifically what your event's going to be, what you want to capture, what's going to happen, primes make sense. Primes are sharper, better lighting, just better. If you had the ability to choose a focal length, you would go with a prime anyways.
I agree. For the intro video, I used a 35 millimeter prime.
Yeah, well, that's a video that you set up.
Exactly.
You know what's going to happen, so that makes sense.
Like for instance, if the event, say if the event wasn't here,
I understand.
see, I would use a 35 millimeter or something shorter than that.
Right.
I wouldn't use a zoom lens. It wouldn't make any sense. It's a closed area. The lighting is not that good. Nothing against your apartment.
Oh, I thought you were speaking hyperbole. You're being for real.
I'm talking for shooting an event to get the clear picture.
Right.
A 35 prime would make sense because the more light the camera can capture, the less I have to deal with the flash. Which is actually better.
Exactly. So, yeah. So only the most inexperienced photographer I would advise getting zoom lenses to cover everything. If it's somebody like you who's been shooting for a while, I would advise you, instead of getting 2 lenses, I would say, well, since you have experience, what do you find yourself shooting at the most?
So would you think it would be good to get like a camera strap and have maybe one camera here for 35, another camera here with an 85, and kind of switch in between?
Yeah, I've done that before. I've done it before.
I've seen that people do that at the Spartan races and stuff I've done.
Yeah, people do that. It'll save you from having to take the lens off and possibly drop it and stuff.
Oh God, that's my heart drop.
But then that's also another reason for a zoom lens, because you don't have to switch to lens very often. So
true, but the quality on the prime is it's beautiful.
It's better. It's better. But if you have a good camera, really good camera, like that has really good lighting, that's pretty sharp anyways,
that makes it even better.
It works with the zoom. It just makes up for what the zoom lacks.
Gotcha.
So I forgot where we were going with that, but
you can think about with filmmaking. If you're doing run and gun versus most people prepare for us, most people use primes.
Right. But I mean, how? So are you sure with what you? So this is a thing that you definitely want to do. Like you want to spend $500 on something.
Well, I'm still marinating on it. Yeah, like food.
But was the intention that you want to do some kind of upgrade, and you're saying I can afford $500?
Here's the thing: majority of the money in the lenses and the camera stuff has been spent on the A mount. I have other stuff that can be used for both cameras, like the Rode mic and stuff like that. Well, actually, not for the A6000. I can't use the Rode mic because it doesn't have an audio jack to it. So I'm thinking I need to start focusing on the E mount, which is where Sony has the majority of its money in, instead of buying and not buying the Sony A992.
Right.
So
definitely focus where the technology is gonna keep going
for the camera, right? Because the lenses, the lenses are going to be consistent. If I buy an E-mount lens, so the thing is, I'm trying to figure out, even if I do buy, like for instance, the A7S2, the only lenses I have are, I think it's a 16 millimeter wide angle lens and the 24 to 70 millimeter lens are the 2 I have for it. I mean, but if it's a good enough camera. Yeah, that's all I really.
Those are good lenses. I mean, for that camera, those are good enough.
And Zeiss.
Yeah, man, that's just fucking things are expensive.
I found it for cheap. Someone was selling it for like $200 to $300 less.
Not bad.
On OfferUp, and I was like, "Oop, mine."
Good.
Yeah, I always gotta find deals, man. Them deals. But yeah, I think maybe we should talk more about that for the next. Like what you're like. I would love to talk about how you prepare, like for film pucks or any film, how you prepare, how you decide what equipment. Because I actually now doing videos and stuff, I realize just like photography, preparing helps decrease the amount of, I would say, messing around trying to figure out what you're doing. You know, the pre-production, like the list of all the equipment you're going to bring and testing everything, like you were saying. Being in the red. I think I'd love to talk about that for the next. Podcast would be great.
Talk about the obsessive organization tactics
of TJ
that I employ. Hey man, it works. It'll save you a lot of time.
Well, as a beginning filmmaker, I would love to learn.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We can talk about that. That's cool.
Any announcements? Anything coming up?
Stay tuned for acting practice next week for any actors out there, because I believe Sharon's going to schedule something next week, even if I'm not there. But this is the other thing. We're getting to where it's like there's going to be practice whether I'm there or not. So and I feel like the actors who have been consistently in class or in practice, they get the process enough to where they can practice it even when I'm not there.
That's good. That actually saves you enough time. I remember you talking about that earlier.
Absolutely. Yeah. So stay tuned. There should be something coming up real soon as far as an announcement for that. Probably going to do a podcast next week again. There's some editing stuff coming up too. But yeah, just stay tuned. Oh, so we're aiming for May to release the finished movie, The Good Friends. Yay. Aiming for May. And also any other things that have been in the queue. So those 2 class scenes and everything should be done by May, mid-May sometime.
Yay.
Yeah, I feel like that's enough time. We still got February, March, April. That's plenty of time.
It's coming around the corner.
So
it's coming.
The pace that we've been going with recently, as far as like editing Good Friends, it would suggest that we're definitely going to be done by April. Definitely. So we'll see.
Where is it going to be posted at? Or I'd say I don't know.
I think so. I think we're going to do a local screening.
Where?
We're gonna screen it ourselves, right? So what I think we'll do is, like, you've been downtown to the big library, the big auditorium. Yeah. It's got a huge ass projector. It's got 100 seats in there. You can sit.
Wait, is that the one they tore down for the apartments, or is that something different?
The building behind that. So inside the dome is the one I'm talking about. Have you been in the dome? You've been in the dome.
Yeah, but I thought they were taking that down for.
They did say that they may renovate it or rebuild it, but they haven't started. I don't know when they're going to do that, if they're going to do that.
Oh, gotcha.
The building behind it is definitely going to go. I don't know what's going to happen with the dome. I think the dome is staying. It just may have some renovations coming.
Okay.
And if that's not available by that time, then there's other resources. We can use the other library with its own auditorium and screening. So, and it's free for us. So, why not? We can set up our own classes. We can set up our own screenings, and then it'll be online for people to see and share with people for views. And also, everyone's going to get their IMDb credits. So, all that. And we'll see what we got coming up for the summer. So once that movie screens, we should be ready to start filming another short film that we will try to be done with by the summer. Done with in terms of screening by the end of the summer. So should be starting at the end of May, finishing up the shooting and screening it by the end of summer. We want to get into a more regular rotation of routine of getting stuff done. So, follow Tampa Film Network, folks, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Just type in Tampa Film Network in the search bar. Kamari D. Ross, he is on Twitter, right?
Not Twitter. I'm mostly as you saw, on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram as well. Kamari Ross. I have on YouTube. I have the KR, as you saw there in the video. On Facebook, I have my profile picture is actually a black and white picture of half my face dark.
Yeah, he's trying to look dramatic. He's trying to look like he's like really, really
Mysterious.
Immersed in his work.
Yes, because I am. So yeah, I mostly do Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So I'm gonna start posting more stuff since I've got like a bunch of content from January that I've finally edited and exported. So, and also that video I was talking about, I'm gonna post on YouTube as well.
Okay,
so,
that sounds great. Now, are you gonna be hosting next week?
What do you mean hosting next week?
Be back as host.
For the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to make sure that we next time. Though, I'll make sure to look up some topics. Are we definitely doing pre-production?
I don't know. If you want to, we can.
Okay, then I'll get some questions. I'll look at some stuff up so we can get more. Because I think the more concise we can get, the more we can actually get the more content in. But I'm curious about this, and since honestly for here on, I think it'd be great if I'm coming here for topics for beginner filmmakers because I'm a beginner.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
The I mean, what happened this time was I was just so busy with all this other shit. I wasn't really prepared to.
Yeah, me too.
I know we talked about what we would do on this show. I just remembered the main thing I want to focus on was number one, you're back. You've been gone for like 3 episodes or whatever.
I told you they've been stringent at work. I can leave. I'm gonna try to push for.
No. It's fine. The whole point was the whole problem was the hours that we had available. My off days switched. So during the weekend. But now we got later hours. We got a studio available now.
Good things happening.
Yeah.
So I'm actually talking to you about this after, but I might be. I'm gonna talk to my manager to see if I come in earlier, if I can leave a little bit earlier, because I want more hours in my day anyways, and I'm actually gonna try to focus on working out and reading in the morning and spending my evenings doing stuff like this, networking, filming, and just getting more of my day.
Yoga and vegans and all that other stuff.
That is not me. I'm more like bodybuilding.
Oh my goodness.
No, I lift heavy things.
I lift heavy things. Okay, that sounds great. So we're just gonna be happy to have you. So we'll see what we're gonna do the show about next week. We do have some exciting things coming as far as the podcast. So as far as like movie reviews, movie commentary, where we're doing a movie companion where you can watch the movie on one screen, have us up on a different screen, and have the audio synced up, and you can watch your movie and hear us comment on it as if we made the movie. Just kind of being assholes about it. That'll be fun. And so that's what we got coming up next. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. If you want to be on the podcast, if you're a local filmmaker, actor, crew person, whatever, we would love to talk to you about whatever it is that you do. What got you interested, what you feel like your role or a future is in filmmaking. And so just email Tampa Film Networks with the S at the end at gmail.com, or go on our website, tampafilmnetwork.org, go to the contact section, just say you want to be on the podcast or to talk about whatever, or just go on Facebook and message either the fan page or in the group. There's a chat section where you can talk directly to the admins, and we can set that up. And that's all I have for you today. So thanks so much. Anything else, Kamari?
That's it. We'll sign off.
All right. See you guys later.